Now, on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app, O'Connor and Company.
It's 7:37, and we're plowing through this morning show news cycle like nobody's business. Thanks for coming along with us and letting us be along on your morning commute. Always great to have you. Coming up at 8:05, Katie McFarland is going to give us the national security perspective on the tariffs announcement yesterday. And at 8:35, former governor of Maryland, Bob Ehrlich. It's Larry O'Connor with Mercedes Schlapp. Good morning, Mercedes.
Good morning, Larry.
You know, I mention often on the show that my one of my three brothers was a plumber. He's retired now, but he was a plumber. People always assume, oh, O'Connor Plumbing. No, not that O'Connor, not that plumber. But we do have that O'Connor with us now, Tommy O'Connor, O'Connor Plumbing. No relation, but I'm sure somewhere down the line in County Clare or something, our great-great-grandparents knew each other. Tommy, thanks for joining us.
Oh, appreciate being on with you guys.
Well, listen, we've been talking for years now, like our friend of the show, Mike Rowe, has been pointing out that these dirty jobs, these hands-on labor jobs, we've sort of, as a society, farmed this out to people of other nations, people who aren't even in the country legally, for that matter. And there seems to be a shortage right now in American laborers. And I saw this column from Selena Zito at the Washington Examiner. There's an economic impact right now, specifically on a shortage of plumbers. And this is disconcerting. Can you sort of play this out for us and explain what's going on exactly and how this is bad?
Yeah, absolutely. This has been a concern of ours for a long time now, probably 10 plus years. The average age of a plumber in the United States is 45 years old, and the average age of a master plumber is 58 years old. So in the next 10 plus years, we could be losing over half of our master plumbers in this country, which means that if we can't change this, that there's going to be fewer companies out there able to serve our communities and take care of the plumbing needs, because without a master's license, you can't own a company.
And is part of the problem here, is it a cultural problem, or is this actually an education problem? Because if you look at the way the school systems are set up right now, and Selena Zito makes this point, there really isn't any sort of hands-on, home economics or shop class or any of those things that would inspire people at the right age, from sixth grade on, if they had an affinity for that, to really pursue those kinds of careers. It's all, STEM and AP classes.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I think it's something that, the schools have shied away from over the years. I think for the reason you stated earlier, it's considered a dirty job. And I think that, the more young people we can get interested in this trade, the better off we're going to be. But again, over the years, it does seem like that. I remember back in high school, we had those classes, shop class and different types of classes for trades, but they've seemed to have gone away. I have seen a trend, though, lately. I feel like that some of the schools are recognizing this. And just, for example, in Frederick County, I know they're focusing on getting more of their students into these type of programs. I think they want to, try to increase the number of students, make it a requirement that some of these classes are being taken, and to get that interest back up. So, yeah, it is a big problem. And again, I kind of look at it from, how I grew up. I grew up with blue-collar parents, and they really wanted us, my brother and myself, to go to college. That was, something they wanted for us, right? All parents want their children to be more successful, to have an easier job than they had, or easier career. So I think that's part of it, too. I think a lot of blue-collar parents are pushing their children to go to college versus the trades. So, I think it's a couple of reasons there.
Yeah, I want to ask you, when you're talking to younger folks who might be interested in going into the career, how do you talk to them about when it comes to like the pay, the purpose, like what's the real value of going into this type of career?
Well, for me, it's more about purpose than pay, but obviously pay is a big deal because you have to be able to earn a living. But there's a saying that plumbers protect the health of the nation, and I believe that fully. So that's something that I talk to our the youth about, which is again, we are part of the healthcare system. We provide clean water. We take, sanitary water into the buildings, and we remove the waste from your buildings. So without plumbers, there would be a lot of sickness, a lot of illness and things. So, I know a lot of young people want to show value, want to have a purpose in life. And, that's something that we promote heavily when we talk to, we go to high schools, we go to middle schools, and we speak in front of their, potential kids that want to get into the trade. And that is a big thing that we promote, is that our job has value, has purpose.
By the way, there's also a huge entrepreneurial aspect of this. Most plumbers, or a good chunk of plumbers and master plumbers, are their own businessmen. They start their own business and they work for themselves, and so they get into the business aspect of it. And you can really grow not just your own career, but you can actually be a major entrepreneur with expansion and franchises and all that stuff. I mean, I guess that's part of what you learn when you become a plumber, is also how to go into business and actually make some really wise and beneficial business decisions.
Well, for us, it was fortunate that my brother got involved in the business years ago, because he did go to college. He did graduate from college and with a business degree. And my father and myself, who started the business, we weren't savvy businessmen, and we would do a lot of work, but collecting your money and paying your bills and all those things, that's something that we weren't great at. So having my brother come on board after a couple years into the business, that really helped us out a lot. So, but like you said,
now
yes,
you're passing that on with your training, though. You have the state-of-the-art training center now, and you're actively looking for people to get on board, and as you call it, the O'Connor way. And people will learn these skill sets and also learn about the business as well. O'ConnorPlumbing.net, by the way, is where you can get more information about that, o'connorplumbing.net. And it's always good to touch base with an O'Connor. Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm very happy. And like you said, yes, our training center is something we're very proud of. We're having a dedication to my father on Friday, the 25th. We'll have our grand opening, our ribbon cutting of our training center. So we're very excited about that. Cool. And like I said, thank you for the opportunity to talk with you guys.
Oh, you bet. Don't be a stranger. Let's. This is something. This is an ongoing topic that we're on top of here, and we'd love to include you in the conversations in the future. Tommy O'Connor. I will look for him at the next family reunion. It is 7:44.
We'll have some of our gear too.
Absolutely. Oh, heck yeah! Thank you.
Yeah.
It is 7:44.